So today we start with the lecture number 2 of unit number 6, that is communication system. In a previous section we deal with what is mean by your electromagnetic spectrum, then what is mean by exactly the wired media, then what is the basic block diagram of the communication system, and today we started with terminologies in communication system. So starting with a simple definitions are there. These all definitions are required in the upcoming slides, so we'll deal one by one. Now what is mean by the time? So time is represented by t in any waveform with AM or FM waveform. The t, small t, is denoted, so it represents time, and time is a fundamental quantity with reference to which all communications happen. It is typically measured in second. So this is the time. So whenever in x and y axis, wherever the small t is represent, it represents the time for that particular communication. Now frequency. The frequency is another fundamental quantity with reference to which all signals in a communication system are more commonly distinguished. Means with respect to frequency we have to recognize the signal. Frequency is defined as the number of oscillations per second and is measured in hertz. So unit of the frequency is hertz. Next one is wavelength. So wavelength word we are utilizing throughout this unit. So what is mean by exactly the wavelength? So wavelength is defined as the distance traveled by an electromagnetic wave during the time of one cycle. So this is known as the wavelength. What is the spectrum? Now in the upcoming slides we referred as a spectrum, AM spectrum, FM spectrum. So what is mean by exactly the spectrum? So spectrum is the frequency domain representation of the given signal. Now the given signal is represented in two domains. One is a time domain and another one is a frequency domain. So when we'll deal with the frequency domain, it known as a spectrum. Now what is mean by the bandwidth? So when we studied about the simplex, duplex and half duplex system, we compare these all three mode of transmission with respect to bandwidth. Bandwidth in simplex is utilized fully, whether in a high duplex system the bandwidth in a duplex system the bandwidth is twice of the half duplex system. So what is mean by the bandwidth? So it is the portion of the electromagnetic spectrum occupied by a signal. More specifically, it is the range of the frequencies over which the information is present in the original signal, and hence it may also be termed as a signal bandwidth. For particular portion or that particular part, the range of the frequency for that original signal is present is known as the bandwidth. Now what about the next next is a channel bandwidth. So what is mean by the channel bandwidth? The range of frequencies required for the transmission of modulated signal. The range of frequencies required for the transmission of modulated signal is known as a channel bandwidth. Now what is mean by the modulation? This is very important part. As we earlier deal with the wired media, communication media is of two type. In previous lecture we deal with the wired. Now today we deal with the wireless media. In wired media we deal with the two types, that is your coaxial cable and optical fiber cable. Now today we'll deal with the wireless media. So modulation. Now what is mean by the modulation? Modulation is a process in which any of the characteristics of the carrier signal, such as amplitude, frequency or phase, is varied according to the instantaneous value of the modulating signal is known as the modulation. Now what is mean by the carrier signal and message signal? Message signal which we have to transfer from one point to another point, but the frequency of our message signal is less, so we'll require the another signal which is having a high frequency. Due to that we are superimposing this message signal on that carrier signal, and that signal is transferred to the destination. So message signal is also known as a modulating signal. So modulating signal is also known as message signal, and the signal which is high frequency is used to transfer this message is known as the carrier signal. So for in a modulation, the frequency of the modulating signal is less and frequency of the carrier signal is high. So this is about the modulation. Now what is mean by the baseband signal? Baseband signal is nothing but a message signal or a modulating signal. So message signal in its original frequency range is known as the baseband signal. So modulation means by superimposing the modulating signal on a carrier signal, we can transfer the message. So how we can change the characteristics? Now any signal, any sinusoidal waveform is having amplitude, having frequency and having phase. So when you can change the amplitude of that carrier signal, it is one kind of modulation. When we can change the frequency of that carrier signal, then it is one type of modulation. When we change phase of that carrier signal, then it is another type of the modulation. So these amplitude, frequency, phase are the characteristics of the carrier signal, and when we are going to change the amplitude of the carrier signal, we have to change the frequency and we have to change the phase. So we are actually changing the amplitude, frequency and phase. So again I'll repeat, modulation is the process in which any of the characteristics of the carrier signal such as amplitude, frequency or phase is varied according to the instantaneous value of the modulating signal. If amplitude is changed, that type of modulation is known as the amplitude modulation. If frequency is changed, that type of modulation is known as a frequency modulation. If phase is changed, that type of modulation is known as a phase modulation. So before going to study the types of the modulation, what is the need of the modulation? Why we are going for the modulation? So maybe the question is there, what is mean by modulation, and explain the need of the modulation. So in this type of question, if you can write down these 5 points only and write down the definition of modulation, you will get the full marks. So what is the first need of the modulation? Why we are going for the modulation? So it reduces the height of the antenna. Okay, then it avoids the mixing of signal. It allows the multiplexing of signal. It allows a long distance communication, and it improves the quality of reception. So we'll discuss one by one. So first one is to reduce the height of the antenna. So if we increase distance, for the long distance, if we have to transfer the information, then we'll require the height of antenna should be more. So if height of antenna is in terms of kilometers, it is not practically possible. So to reduce the height of the antenna and to transfer the information will require the modulation. Without modulation, the height of the antenna is not reduced and we are not getting the message transferring. Next is avoid the mixing of signal. If at the same particular frequency the number of signals are available, then mixing of the signal are the chances. So to avoid this mixing will require the modulation. Then it allows the multiplexing of the signal. Then it allows the long distance communication, and it improves the quality of reception. So these all are about the need of the modulation. So I think you all know about what is the need of the modulation: to reduce the height of the antenna, avoid the mixing of the signal. So modulation avoid mixing of signal by using different carrier frequencies for different signal. Next is allowing the multiplexing of the signal. Modulation allows the transmission of 2 or more signals simultaneously over the same channel. This is known as a multiplexing. So it allows the multiplexing also, and allows the long distance communication, and it improves the quality of the reception. Modulation reduces the effect of noise, and thus it improves the quality of reception. So that's why these 5 points are the for need of modulation. Now the next one is types of modulation. As I discussed earlier, if the amplitude of the carrier wave is changed, amplitude of the carrier wave is changed according to the amplitude of modulating signal, then this is known as a amplitude modulation. If frequency of the carrier wave is changed as per the modulating signal, then it's known as a frequency modulation. And if phase of the carrier signal is getting changed, then it is known as a phase modulation. Now one by one we'll go through the detailed definition. If amplitude of carrier signal is varied according to the instantaneous amplitude of a modulating signal, the process is called amplitude modulation. If frequency of carrier signal is varied according to instantaneous amplitude of the modulating signal, the process is called as a frequency modulation. And if phase of the carrier signal is varied according to the instantaneous amplitude of the modulating signal, the process is known as a phase modulation. So now we deal with the one by one, what is mean by the amplitude modulation, what is mean by the frequency modulation. So this is about the amplitude modulation. Now if we refer the diagram, this is a sinusoidal wave. This is the first wave, which is a sinusoidal wave. Okay. The second one is the carrier signal. So this is a message signal, or you can say it is a baseband signal, or this is a modulating signal. So this signal is getting superimposed on this carrier signal. If you observe, the amplitude of the carrier signal is same, correct? And this is the amplitude of your message signal. So when you are going to superimpose this on a carrier signal, depending upon this position of your message signal, whether it is positive high or it's a negative high, the amplitude of the carrier is getting changed and you are getting an amplitude modulated wave. So the third waveform, this is, which is known as an envelope. This is known as a envelope, and this is also known as a amplitude modulated wave. So this is your message signal, or you can say it is a baseband signal. This is your carrier signal. You are getting superimposed this message signal on carrier signal, and you are getting the, this is AM modulated wave. So if you can observe, whatever may be this EM, it is EM is the amplitude of your message signal, where EC is your amplitude of the carrier signal. And if you can observe here, it shows EM plus EC. So definitely in amplitude we'll get addition of both the amplitudes of message as well as the carrier signal. But again we'll get some maximum and minimum values. One time we'll get the maximum amplitude, and at this place we'll getting the minimum amplitude. So by getting these all values, this is a baseband signal, this is a carrier signal, and this is the your amplitude modulated signal. Now if we go through this diagram, this is the carrier waveform whose amplitude is EC. Now in this we'll get a bandwidth as a twice FM. If FM is the frequency of the message signal, then it is bandwidth is a twice FM. And if we are deal with we'll getting the two things, that is carrier is there, and again the your lower sideband and upper sideband, that is USB and LSBs are also present. So for upper sideband and for lower sideband, magnitude is same, that is M into EC by 2. So what is mean by M? What is this? It will be getting clear from the derivation of the amplitude modulation. So it will comes later on, but this is all about the amplitude modulation. Now the next one is frequency modulation. In the same fashion, if you can observe, this is a modulating signal, or you can say this is a message signal. So for the positive signal, you are getting frequency is getting increase. Now in this time the FM wave, the amplitude is remain same, but whatever may be the frequency, it is increased at high amplitude and it is decreased, means frequency is reduced at the your negative part. So this is the spectrum, as we say see the spectrum of your amplitude modulated wave. The same we have to take the this is for the FM wave. This is general idea of AM and FM. Actually, there is one derivation for AM that will discuss one by one. This is a detail, but before that, what is exactly mean by AM and what is mean by the FM, that we have to take in a briefly. Now, what is the comparison of AM and FM? This is also the most important part. Maybe the question is there, explain the difference between AM and FM, or what is exactly the difference between FM and AM, or compare both. So we'll make the 3 column, serial number, FM, AM. So we started with the first one. Amplitude of the FM wave is constant and it is independent of the modulation index, while amplitude of the AM wave will change with the modulating signal or the modulating voltage. This is the main part. Now the transmitted power remain constant while the transmitted power is depend on the modulation index. Then all the transmitted power is useful, and in AM only carrier power and one sideband power are useless. Then FM receivers are immune to noise, AM receivers are not immune to noise. It is possible to decrease the noise further by increasing the deviation. This feature is absent in AM, and these all comparison points are given for AM and FM. So this is all about the AM and FM. So if we deal with AM and FM, we can easily compare. And what is the next point? That is bandwidth is large, bandwidth is much less than FM. Then a space wave is used for propagation, ground wave and sky waves propagation is used. Therefore the large area is covered than FM. Then it is possible to operate several transmitters on the same frequency. It is not possible to operate more channels on the same frequency. This is FM transmission and reception equipment are more complex. AM equipments are less complex. So this is all about the comparison point. For the today we completed the lecture number 2 because the terminologies that we discuss, that is your time, frequency, then wavelength, spectrum, bandwidth, channel bandwidth, what is mean by modulation, what is the need of the modulation. I think you very well understand what is the mixing of signal, what is the multiplexing of signal. Then I'll already uploaded the copy notes of this unit, so you have to refer that also, and these video lectures also. Then depending upon the 3 parameters, that is amplitude, frequency and phase, which are the characteristics of the any sinusoidal wave, for our reference we'll consider as a carrier signal. Then depending upon that, there are the 3 types of the amplitude modulation, frequency modulation and phase. For your syllabus purpose of view, we have to only discuss the 2, that is amplitude modulation and frequency. This is just a idea about how the amplitude modulation take place and FM is take place. What is exactly the modulation index and what is the derivation of AM, that we'll discuss in the next lecture. Thank you.